Hello and welcome to Movies with My Dad, the podcast where I, film critic Tina Kakadelis, take my dad Stratis to the movies. This week we saw Snow White, directed by Mark Webb and starring Rachel Zegler. Join us on the spoiler-filled car ride home.
All right, Tina.
It's been so long, Father.
Yeah, you went away to the far-off Southland.
I went to South by.
South by Southwest.
Correct. The cool kids just call it South by.
They do, but you keep calling it Southwest.
South by Southwest.
And why were you there, Tina?
It doesn't matter.
Of course it does.
Movies.
You were there at a movie festival.
They call it a film festival, but for sure.
Okay, sorry. What do they call
Film
it? A cinema.
and TV festival is its technical government name.
All right, well, we're stuck here. At least I'm stuck here in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I don't get the jet set around the world.
You brought me to this.
We went to this movie, which is...
What's it called?
Okay, this one I know. Unless they added, like, extra words to it. Is it just still Snow White?
I don't know if they called it Disney Snow White or Snow White, but yeah, it's Snow White.
Okay.
Okay, what's the plot?
It's Snow... Well, all right, it's not quite
It's
the
not
original
Snow
Snow
White.
White. I got to give them some credit for mixing it up a little bit.
They did.
Modernized it, I'd say.
For the better, let's be honest.
What, from the original, you mean?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a fan of the classics?
You know, as the film...
1939? Maybe?
I think you're right.
I think I'm right.
No, I don't know. 33? 33 feels better than 39.
Oh, Wizard of Oz is 39?
Maybe.
Anyways.
Whatever. As it was beginning, I thought... I get Snow White and Sleeping Beauty mixed up because I don't really care for either. Then I was looking forward to the big dragon, but then I remember the big dragon is in Sleeping Beauty, and we just get the boring poison apple in this one.
Wow.
It's kind of lame.
The original, you mean?
In this one.
All right, let me start off with a hot take, okay?
If you're going to dunk on Rachel Zegler, I'm
Was
going to get out of this car.
Was that the Snow White lady?
Yes.
Okay, no.
Thank goodness.
I didn't know it was a musical.
Are you joking?
No, I had no idea that it was going to be a musical. I figured you'd get a couple songs like Hi Ho, but I didn't know it was a full-fledged musical.
So I was also like trying to remember what other hits are from Snow White. Like, is Someday My Prince Will Come from Snow White? And they cut it because he's not a prince in this?
It's only Hi Ho.
And Whistle While You Work.
And Whistle While You Work.
But I was like, I really don't know.
I think in the original Snow White, the music was part of the story, not like they sang the story.
No, this was much more of a musical.
Right. This was... The original was when the guys the dwarfs are going off to work, they sing because they're happy people, I guess.
One of them,
Whistle
famously.
Only one, right? And Whistle While You Work obviously was that, but there was no other singing in the original, was there?
I really think Someday My Prince Will Come is from this, but I really don't know. I don't like Snow White.
I think we should have done some homework before we watched this movie.
No, I'm fine. Snow White is not my jam at all. I like the changes that they made to this one. None of the original songs particularly stood out to me, except what?
Except which?
I liked their little couple song, not the Princess Problem song.
Oh, the Princess Problem was great. I like that one. That's the only one I really liked.
I liked their little duet when they were realizing that they were falling in love. I thought that was very sweet.
Yes, it was very sweet, but it's not going to stick with me. But I like Princess Problems.
Princess Problems didn't really work for me, like, for the multitude of reasons of, like, the greater issue that I had with Snow White, the revamp, as I guess we can call it.
Sure.
Where, like, they wanted to give Snow White some agency, and at times I think that they did a really good job with that, but then at other times I was like, you guys have no idea how you want to really change this and modernize it, because you don't want to include any violence, really, because you just have her tell Evil Queen to leave, which is crazy.
You were snickering a little too much over there. You did not provide this the amount of reverence it deserved.
But look, Gal Gadot cannot act.
I think her acting was exactly what
It was
a cartoon queen, evil queen should be. She played it like that character from 1933 was, or whatever, came to life.
No.
So she was only dimensional in the evilness. Just like everybody else was not really fully formed
I don't.
people.
Okay, before, I can't argue with.
Look at me, I'm starting to sound like a critic.
Oh my god.
I thought she did a great job of being an evil witch, princess, queen.
Okay, famously queen.
Was
the whole thing.
So was this queen role in the original too?
Yeah.
Did Snow White? How did Snow White lose her parents in the first one?
I don't know, but they were killing them off quick in this one.
Was that at all in the 1930 whatever?
I don't know. I don't.
All
like
I remember
Snow White.
is Snow White shows up at the dwarf's house. That's how the movie starts for my brain.
Same.
Okay.
And then the old lady shows up with the apple.
Yes.
And then she gets kissed, and then I don't even know what happens.
I feel like
after
she was
that.
a queen from some other area, or she was the queen, and her magic mirror, who in this movie is really cool, who the magic mirror says,
Why? What?
hang on.
Okay.
The magic mirror says, there is another one more fair than you. And Snow White's just out in the forest with the dwarfs. Not a previous... She wasn't a princess, right? She becomes a princess from Prince Charming. I don't think he's Prince Charming. Is that the other movie? Yeah. Disney lore is not... I don't have it all down.
No.
Anyways, you didn't like the mirror guy?
I did. It was Patrick Page. He's from Broadway. He's good.
Oh.
He's great. He's in Hades.
What about the
now.
effect of it all? I thought it was really nicely done.
Yeah. That was cool. This might be a dumb question. When she's asking who's the fairest of them all, is she asking who's the hottest?
Yes. What do you mean? Who's the most beautiful? That was what
No,
Snow
but
White...
but now this
the
Snow
queen-
White is like throwing in, like, she wants to be fair and true. So then I was like, are they trying to make this not about how hot people are anymore?
Oh, I see what you're saying. And you
like,
could...
they changed the whole thing of,
I think
like...
it's sort of intermixed there. Because the mirror said her fairness comes from within.
Okay, but now I have another question then, because this doesn't make any... If we stick with who's the hottest of them all...
Is that the new mirror?
Yeah. Because also,
the hottest
I
of them
didn't
all?
like that the mirror wasn't rhyming all the time. And I was like, I think this should be just your shtick that you're rhyming all the time. But he stopped. Okay, so
I don't think I noticed that.
If we're doing who's the hottest of them all, did we have to wait until Snow White turned 18 before she could be called a hottie? Like, why did it suddenly change?
Well, hang on.
If we're going the hot route.
Because
and we're saying that nobody else was hotter than her.
I understand that. But the queen, Gal Gadot, shows up with the mirror and takes over the kingdom. So
the mirror can't lie.
No, I understand that. But what was she doing? Maybe the mirror told her that one is coming up, and that's why she came to town.
Why would you come to town if you know someone hotter is coming?
Because you got to dispense with that person.
But she wasn't planning to do that until the mirror was like, you've been out-hotted. I just don't understand what the mirror is saying. Like, it does not make sense. Because she was obviously never the fairest. If we're talking about fair in terms of, like, equality and equity, she was never the fairest of them all. So how is she getting called that?
You know, this is like a nursery rhyme, right? I mean,
I know,
you don't
but I'm
need
just like,
depth
I've never
here.
really had to sit and think about it as an adult because I've never watched the cartoon Snow White as an adult. But now, is it truly who's the hottest in Snow White Land? Because the kingdom has no name also, which is crazy. They couldn't even just like throw a name at it.
No, you can't add names.
Why?
To this. I don't know. I feel like they're trying to stay,
They
pure.
took the prince out of the prince. He's just a little artist boy now.
Well, remember, the prince in the original one was just a throwaway.
No, because I think I'm thinking of the prince from Sleeping Beauty, who I think is also Prince Charming.
They're not both Prince Charming.
I think they are both Prince Charming. We'll never know.
Somebody Google check us.
Well, I'm really hung up on who's the fairest.
All right, well,
of
let's
them all.
go to the important part. Snow White.
She's so talented.
Phenomenal. Whoever casted her.
Okay, you've already seen her in another movie.
That's fine. She was phenomenal in this
movie?
movie.
What movie was she in?
I have no idea.
Come on, Dad.
No.
She also sings in it.
Was it West Side Story?
There you go.
Which one was she in that one? The main one?
Maria.
Oh. She looks so much
Older?
petiter. No, smaller and wispier than what I remember in West Side Story.
She was like 4 years younger in
I
West Side
understand
Story,
that, but
too.
I guess it's just...
She looks like a baby in West Side Story.
Okay. Anyways, whoever casted her made this movie, because I don't know if this movie would have worked without her.
I know that we disagree on the Evil Queen, but I thought her acting was so stilted and so awkward and so uncomfortable, and there was like that long stretch in the middle of the movie when Snow White like meets artist boy Jonathan. Also crazy to just name him Jonathan. What do you mean we have the Evil Queen and Snow White and then Jonathan?
Jonathan, a fine name.
Jonathan?
Yeah.
Snow White and Jonathan.
I don't know why you're picking on the name Jonathan.
Because it's not a fairy tale. It's Jonathan.
Okay, we'll continue on where you're going.
There's that long stretch when she meets Jonathan, when she's singing Whistle While You Work, and you just like, you get caught up in how talented Rachel Zegler is. And like, it's the same thing in West Side Story where she has to act against the very bland man who played Tony.
Let's leave him out of this.
I shan't. Where you just like see how because I mean, I'm assuming she was dancing around little tennis balls on sticks for the dwarfs.
The dwarfs.
But she is just so magnetic and like such a fascinating and like immersive performer. I just love watching.
I don't know. Did you want this to be more real?
I didn't like how the dwarves looked.
But the dwarves are fine. We'll go there in a minute.
Did Dopey look like Tony to you? Like a little bit?
You mean your cousin?
Yeah.
Your
I don't know what he is
cousin
to me.
once removed, whatever?
For sure. Just like a little bit?
He did look like somebody else, though.
He looked like Tony.
No, he
with
looked
his like sweet little cutie pie eyes.
Okay. But wait, let's go back to her. I think you're looking at this movie incorrectly.
What do you mean?
Because I felt this movie portrayed the characters from the original Snow White like real, like brought them into life, but didn't create different characters for them. They are sort of one-dimensional from the cartoon. And these folks had that sort of one-dimensional, like 1.5 dimension to them. But performances, I thought, were phenomenal.
I don't feel comfortable saying that.
Well,
I feel comfortable saying that about Snow White, and I really like Jonathan. It's just so dumb.
and I love the way that
Snow
ends.
White, and he's Jonathan.
You were not moved by this movie, I could tell. You were over there just... You were just like that mean girl in the back, you know.
What mean girl in the back?
From the Mean Girls movie. You're just...
Who?
George? Something George?
Regina George.
Regina George. Look, I got something.
George.
And who can remember the name Regina, for goodness sake?
Oh, I don't know. We've been only married to one for 30-some years.
I got the George part. My mom's middle name was George, by the way. Did you know that?
Moms?
Yeah. My mom's,
Oh.
not your mom's. We don't share a mom, by the way.
You just said mom's middle name.
I said my mom.
I didn't hear the
Play
mine.
the tape.
Oh my god. I'll edit it out so I sound right. Jonathan. I like Jonathan. I thought Jonathan was sweet. But I didn't like I wanted like a little fight. I didn't like her just being like, leave.
I liked the way they ended it. They didn't need to... It was an uprising. It was almost starting to feel a little like Les Mis there for a minute.
Yeah, and then I was like, you know what would be a better song for them to sing now? Do you hear the people sing? Not just like vocalizing in the distance.
No, but I thought the way the ending I thought was sweet and very much like the original cartoon movie.
Gun to your head, you have no idea how the original cartoon ends.
No, but just that same feeling.
You have no idea.
Love, caring, you know.
You have no idea.
It doesn't matter. It's how I feel about it. It's all about the feels.
And Jonathan.
And Jonathan. Poor guy. What do you want him to be called?
I don't know.
Richard?
Not Jonathan. I don't know. I don't know why.
Now you're going to get hate mail from all the Jonathans out there. This is, I can be Snow White's other.
It's like Barbie and Ken all over again. She's Barbie and he's just Ken. She's Snow White and he's just Jonathan. It just doesn't feel like... It just doesn't fit in the world because, like... you have all of these dopey, happy, sleepy, Doc... evil queen, Snow White are all of the names that we know, and then you throw in Jonathan.
Wow. I'm really stuck on this.
You know what?
Well, let's move on to the critics' corner side. Your intellectual view of this movie.
Okay.
Do you have anything for us?
I will say I liked how I liked that they actually made it feel like a movie musical in a way that I feel like Wicked.
I thought this was so much better than Wicked. This is going to get me a lot of hate mail. I understand that. But I really enjoyed this. This one made me feel something. Wicked, I did not feel it.
I'm just going to clip
I'm
that.
Team Snow White, baby.
Oh my God.
I'm going to get a t-shirt. Team Snow White.
Put in parentheses 2025, not 1933, because you don't know anything about that one. My God.
And I'm getting you a shirt that says Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan. Oh, I like Jonathan. I liked his acting.
He's a little too much cast like Princess Bride. What's his name? Wesley.
That's fine. Let him be a floppy-haired pretty boy.
Yeah, that's what he was.
It's about time that we had a floppy-haired pretty boy again.
Named Jonathan.
No, not named Jonathan. But I thought that they choreographed, like the choreography, it felt a little too modern for me at times. And then like some of the same issues that I had with Wicked, where it felt like it was just like the choreography was just them walking places and that was it. I didn't love that. But for the bigger dance numbers, I liked that they did kind of a wide shot and let you really just be immersed in it. And some of the songs I enjoyed.
Well, there you go.
I liked it more than I thought that I would.
Then why'd you snicker so much?
Because some of it definitely needed to be.
You definitely did not like Gal Gadot's performance in there.
No.
She always snickered every time she showed her face.
We have enough champagne to fill the Nile. You know what I'm talking about?
Is that the Knives Out?
No.
Something to do, huh?
Death on the Nile.
Yeah, but the same series, wasn't it?
One is Agatha Christie.
Let's move on.
Okay, you are taking the long way. Why
you
are you
have
trapping
still
me in the car?
Well, because we have a little more to say. First off, should we do our rating?
Okay, what you want to rate it out of? Jonathan's?
Poison apples.
What a lame poison apple too.
I like the poison. This was not your movie.
At times, I was really.
What are you going to give it?
I gave it 2 on Letterboxd as we were walking out the theater.
So here's where I'm way different than you.
If you give it a 4,
I'm giving it a 3.75, baby.
No, what is happening?
3 3/4.
Okay.
I enjoyed it, except for the first maybe 20 minutes. I wasn't into it, but then I enjoyed it. I was there.
I mean, the first 20 minutes did have patricide.
What good Disney movie doesn't start with some dead parents? All right.
Hey.
Well.
Bye, Jonathan.
Bye.
That's it for this week's episode of Movies with My Dad. You can find all of our episodes on movieswithmydad.com or the streaming platform of your choosing. You can also send us an email at movieswithmydadpod@gmail.com. My dad is desperate to hear from you. You can find me, Tina, on Blue Sky at Tina Kakadelis or on Letterboxd at Tina_DOCX. You can find my dad at the local Lowe's. Tune in next week when we head back to the movies.